welcome to my channel about paper crafting, and today I have a layout share. If you are a regular viewer of my channel and a subscriber, you will notice that I haven't put many videos up lately. My scrapping mojo just flew out the door. I was doing great with the 30-day challenge. Then I went a day and I didn't create a page, and that was it. My mojo was gone just like that. So I forced myself back into it and I've caught up, and I today did day 20 because today is the 20th of October 2022, and I am now up to date. Whether I say up to date, I don't know. But I did all the days from last one I did a video on was day 11. I have day 12 to day 20 I'm going to share with you now. So fingers crossed I can stay up to date. But these are the ones that I've done. Alright, so day 12 was a sketch by Catherine Ronson. And I also came across an issue with some of these in that the papers and photos that I had selected didn't match the sketch. I wasn't going to go get new papers and new photos. I was determined to make them work. So some of my pages don't look much like the sketches at all. Some are pretty close, and some maybe have one thing from the sketch that I've used as inspiration on the page. But at least I've used the sketches as my starting point, and that is the whole idea of the 30 days of sketches. So here is day 12, and this is my interpretation of the sketch. And you probably look at that and go, well, I'm sorry, but that's nothing like the sketch. And you'd be right. It's nothing like the sketch, except if you look a little bit closer, there's a cluster of elements up here. I have a cluster of elements here. I do have, I try and put them side by side. I don't know if this is going to work. Hopefully you can see them all. I do have my title down here under the photos. I have used 2 photos and they have 1. And I do have this mat. I have extended it though across all the page. So that's this middle section here. It's the one piece of paper all the way across. And I think the only other thing that I have used from the sketch, what am I yawning? Oh my god, I am so sorry. Is these little, what do you call them? I suppose they're like tufts of ribbon or whatever. I've used my notebook punch, which I recently purchased. I haven't purchased anything for ages, and I had to get glue from someone, and they happened to have that punch, and I went, oh, it's falling into my cart, so I splurged a whole punch. Anyway, so my notebook edges here are my representation of these little tufts element here. Alright, so that is day 12. Okay, next we have day 13, a sketch by Lara Moss. A beautiful sketch. I really like this sketch. It just really appeals to me. I may have followed it a little bit. I may not. Here we go. Alright, so day 13. I wanted to explain on this one, sorry. I like to tell people why I scrap the photos as well. Not just that, hey, here's a scrap page. Alright, so this is my son when he was 2. And he used to have lots of Matchbox cars. Now you've probably seen me recently do another page about his Matchbox cars and how many he had, and it was like a favourite toy at that stage. This one, however, is going to be about he used to like to line them up. And he had a lot, so it ran from one end of the hall to the other. It was quite a really long hall in the house. And he started out his bedroom and then went up the hall. And then he used to put them lined up along the hall. And he used to do this quite often, line them all up. And looking back at it now, apparently that is a sign of autism, where they have to line things up. So, I mean, he did play with them normally as well, but he also had that trait of lining them all up. Some people can argue that, well, that's just a boy seeing how many he's got, how long, you know, does this line go. But that wasn't the only thing that he lined up. So my journaling is going to be about him lining them up. Is it or is it not a sign of autism? I mean, later in life he was diagnosed with autism. But at this young stage, is it just a boy lining up all the one toy to see how long it was and how far it could go? or is it a sign of autism? So that's what my journaling is going to be about. A bit of like a question, you know. It can be seen as a sign. It can also be seen of just a boy playing with his toys. So that's what that is going to be about. Alright, so this one, the sketch, I used one photo instead of the two. My title is pretty much the same, and instead of a photo up here, I just have an embellishment cluster, so that's pretty much the same. And the band of paper across the middle, I have that, and I have it backed. So here there's like a stripe, a section of paper, another band of paper, and then a middle band of paper. Mine is similar. I have the band in the middle, and then these two bands, it's the one piece of paper. I've just popped this on top, but then I matted it. I wanted to use this stripy bit of paper. This is all I had of this collection left. I can't even remember who it was by. And sometimes I hate having an odd piece of paper left from a collection, or if I buy a series of papers that go together, I hate having one piece left. And normally the one piece left is a piece I don't like much. That's why it's left. So the one I had left was a stripy piece of paper that I love the colours in this paper, but in the stripe, I just didn't like it. So I thought, well, even though this is nice weight paper, I wanted to mount, so I wanted to use the stripy bit as the mount behind this patterned piece of paper with the leaves on it, but it clashed a little, and there wasn't enough differentiation between them. So I mounted this on vanilla cardstock. So it's quite a hefty page, because here there's like 4 layers, and the photo that's 6 layers. So there's quite a lot of paper in this layout. But yeah, so I followed the sketch pretty well on this one. And I love this paper here. Oh, if I could get 20 sheets of that. I'd probably get bored of it though, but I love this paper. I wanted to say about this one, the washi tape. It, like most washi tape, you put it on. Oh, man, here I am, filming late at night again. It's my son's birthday today, so we just had his dessert cake and all the rest of it, so I'm a little tired. Anyway, yeah, the washi tape. When you put washi tape on pattern paper, it loses its definition and it doesn't stand out. Sometimes that's good. You want it to blend in. Other times you want it to stand out. This one I wanted it to stand out. It was getting lost on both these patterns. So I just popped it on a piece of vanilla cardstock and then cut it out. And it brings it to life and adds that extra detail. And it makes it stand out. What else do I want to say? Use some really old Prima flowers that I've had for donks yonks. These are old specialty paper from Stampin' Up. It's a whole sheet of doilies. So I cut a few out. They're quite old now. This is a die cut. These are old basic grey flowers. And there's another one somewhere else hidden under here. I covered it in the end, but anyway, it's under there. And these are, I think, old basic grey elements as well. This is a die cut. These are Prima. I only use the one. Prima centers. Well, it's a die cut. And these are just flowers that I had in my tub. So there we go. And this is a photo of me and my husband. It is 1999. The 14th of April. We've been married for 4 whole days. That was our honeymoon down in Tasmania, and that's why I have young love, because we were very young back then. Alright, so that is day 13. Alright, day 14 is a double page. Now, I think if I put it here, hopefully you can see it all, fingers crossed. I'm just going to stand up and see if I can see it all in my camera. Sorry, my chair going over the boards. Can you see that all? All that? I'm going more that way. There you go. You can see all that now. Okay, so here's a double page, Backyard Olympics. And the sketch, mine is nothing like the sketch. A sketch had lots of elements and a photo in the middle. I don't like cutting my photos into circles. It used to be a really old-fashioned thing. It was really in vogue when Creative Memories started, I think. And then it went out for a lot of years. It's like, oh, you don't cut your circles. No, don't cut your photos into shapes. That's really old school. That's embarrassing. Don't do that. But now it's making a comeback. I still can't do it for some reason. I just can't do it. So the inspiration I took from this layout is that the page is matted on another piece of cardstock, and I took the clouds and the sun as my inspiration. So my layout design is nothing like that. Well, it is in a way, in that everything's across the middle of the page, mostly, all the photos are, but I have not the circle elements, but the inspiration is the sun and the clouds. And this is my layout. So I have clouds and suns in different places on the layout. But then I also added flowers, because my daughter's in the photos and we're in the backyard. I also have like on the patterned paper here, you probably can't see it, it's also like a sun design. It's like a dot painting of a circle and sun rays going out from it. What else do I want to say? I think that was it. Oh, okay. I used quite a bit of digital elements on this page because I didn't actually have much in my stash that was sun, cloud, etc. So I'm doing it again. Gosh, I used from Knit Collections. I used Everyday Life series Pink Daisies collection, and I printed out the daisies from this and cut them out. And then I also used the clouds. I'm pretty sure it's just the clouds. Which one was it? This one? This one, Hello Sunshine, Digital Elements by Coco Vanilla. I used the cloud, and I also used, there's something else I used on here. It was those little circle things. I'm trying to find them. There. Tiny, tiny on this photo. They look like, you know, the wooden elements that are popular right now. They're like a wooden button with an epoxy stuck on the middle. I used those, and in this photo, this is all the digital elements that you get in the file. And these here look really little. But with the beauty of digital elements, you can resize them to any size you want. So I just made them the size I wanted, print them out, and then cut them out. Same with the clouds. They were from this digital file as well. Printed out the clouds to the size I wanted, cut them out. I think that was all I wanted to say on that one. This is us having our own Olympics in the backyard. I think at the time there was Olympics on the TV, so the kids are really interested in it. So I went, hey, let's go do our own Olympics in the backyard. So we had egg and spoon races, sack races, totem tennis, running, hopscotch. So we had a blast. It was the best day. So that was lots and lots of fun. So that's our backyard Olympics. Okay, next. Oh wait, hang on, that's the sketch for that one. Now we're up to day 15. And this is a beautiful sketch by Michelle Buccina. Did I actually say who that was? Day 14, Alison Krogstad. Sorry, I did not say who that sketch was from. Alison Krogstad, day 14. Day 15 is Michelle Buccina from The Scattered Scrapper. A lovely sketch, and I just reversed it. So my photos were more this way, my titles, I moved my title up, but I still had the elements here, but they sort of went across this way, so I sort of switched it around. So this is the layout, and I have my elements at the top. This is a really chunky Prima flower. And I had a block on this one. I really did. I love the papers, but then I went, I have no embellishments I can use easily on this page. I didn't really want to go flowers, but I didn't know what I wanted to use. So I cut out the element from this page. So I had a second of this page. So I did a bit of fussy cutting and then put that there. I went, I need something else because that blends into the background. So I went, well, I'm just going to dig out flowers because I was at a stump and it's like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I dug out the flowers, and I'm not 100% happy with this page, but it's done. It's going to tell the story I want it to tell. And even though this is like an Asian inspired paper with the lanterns and this symbol up here, my photos have nothing to do with Asia or anything Asian. I just love the papers, and I've had them a long time, and I went, I'm just going to use them. Like, you know, it doesn't have to match the theme of your photos, is what I'm trying to say. So this is my husband and my daughter when she was little, and the story is going to be about how she has the same sense of humour as her father, and it started young, because look at the look on this face here. Oh my gosh. This is like looking at him going, are you crazy, man? And she has the same sense of humour as him, and it's just, oh, phenomenal. Like, she's so funny. And my husband always makes us laugh, and she's much the same. She's nearly 18, and she's just so funny. And that's why the heading is A Chip Off the Old Block, because seriously, she's same sense of humour, and her one-liners and her sarcasm, it's just so funny. So that's the story with these photos, and I thought that is a classic. That look, oh my gosh, like you wouldn't think butter would melt in her mouth, but then she gets these expressions. Anyway, so that's day 15. Right, day 16. This is a sketch created by Rebecca Lockhart Scraps, of Rebecca Lockhart Dykeman is her name. Day 16. Now, this has a lot of mixed media on it, as you can tell. I don't do a lot of mixed media. Very little mixed media at all. Saying that though, I have the World Series Challenge round 3 starting, and one of the criteria on that is mixed media, stencils. What else? 2 types of mixed media if you want the Grand Slam. So I'm going to be forced to do mixed media. So, you know, you might see a few mixed media pages coming up. I don't know how good they're going to be, but I'll attempt them. So this is the layout. 3 photos, a beautiful like wreath around the photos, and then this gorgeous mixed media watercolor effect on the background. You'll see mine has no mixed media. Okay, so that part of the sketch I just ignored, because I know that if I had to dig out all my mixed media to do this layout, it wasn't going to happen. And you may look at this page and go, that looks like a pack of what I used to say. I probably can't repeat it because they might ban me. My dad used to say it all the time. If you've heard the expression, you know what I'm saying, but it looks a mess, okay? And I'll get to that in a minute. My journaling is going to reflect this page. But what I have the same as a sketch is my 3 photos. I've just again turned it the other way. I do a lot of, that's the top of my page. So, normal reading, left to right, top to bottom. And that's the way I tend to put my photos and my titles. So this, to me, is a little bit foreign going the other way. I tend to go this way. Plus, there was this cute bird up here in the house that I didn't want to cover. So that's also why my photos went top to bottom, diagonally from the left. So no mixed media. I do have a I'd say a wreath around my photos, like this one. I have these clusters here and here. So it's sort of, if you follow your eye around from cluster to cluster, it gives that same sort of wreath effect around the flowers. And that's as much as my layout copied the sketch, or used the sketch for inspiration. My title is here, All You Need Is Love. It was in a strip of paper already. Now these little embellishment clusters were from, I've forgotten the name of the company who did this, Doodlebug Designs, I think it was. And they're really way out there, and I think they're ugly at times. They're a little bit over the top, but it went with the paper, and I've had the packet of these embellishments for yonks, and I just wanted to use them and get rid of them. I was sick of seeing them. And they match the paper perfectly. They're multi-layered. This has like 2 foams in between there, so it's like 3 layers. One of them has another one on top, so they're quite dimensional. And sometimes I'll pull those things apart and just use them individually, but I just wanted to get rid of this packet, and I used everything from the packet on this page. And you may look at it and go, that is butt ugly. It's just a mess. It's bright and ugly, and I'll agree. But the reason I don't mind that is because in my journaling, I am talking about my son and how hard it was to be his parent, his mother, when he was growing up with all the conditions that he had, and there was no recognition of his conditions. We couldn't get him diagnosed for a while. People were saying, we think he's got something, we don't know what it is, and no one was prepared to help us really, and we had no external family help. My parents had moved to Queensland, my husband's parents had passed away, so we had no help, more by ourselves basically, and we were struggling with this kid. And my journal is going to be about how this page and its chaoticness reflects the chaoticness of the time in our family until we had answers for him. So this reflects exactly what I wanted to tell the story of. And the story also is that my reprieve at that time was I would just cuddle him, and then I'd envelop him in love, and then I would be reminded that he is my son, I love him unconditionally, and we will get through this no matter what, and we did. And I remember one piece of advice from his primary school counsellor was, we had a really emotional meeting at the school, and I walked out in tears, and I remember she came out and she gave me the biggest cuddle, and she goes, I'm going to tell you one piece of advice. His schooling life is this big. It's minuscule compared to the rest of his life. If he doesn't get a good education, that doesn't mean that he won't be a good person and he won't be able to succeed in life. So we need to change our perspective and stop looking at his performance and what he's doing at school as the be-all, end-all. It's just a very small part of his life, and he will survive it, we will survive it, and we'll move on and be stronger from it. And that is exactly what happened. So anyway, that's the story. You probably didn't want to hear all that, but anyway, I needed to tell it. So that is why this page, like normally I'd look at this page and I'd go, that is ugly, I'm just going to rip it all apart and not use it, take the photos off and do something else. But I thought, no, that is a perfect representation of the story I wanted to tell. So it's staying just like it is. So that is day 16. And one of the things I'm finding about this challenge is that it's making me think more about what I'm scrapping, and not just, here are some photos, here's some pretty embellishments, there's a page done. I'm actually looking more in depth of why I'm scrapping those photos and putting more heartfelt journaling onto them, which is amazing, because these are stories my kids are going to want to read in, years to come when I'm gone. And they want to know, why did I scrap that photo? Why was that photo important to me to scrap? What story did I want to tell? And actually going on that, I recently, this last couple of days, I rearranged a bookshelf in the family room, and I moved all my scrapbook albums that I have from when the kids were babies onwards, that I had sitting in the wardrobe in my office. I put them all in this bookcase. So I thought, well, what is the good of me scrapping these photos if no one is looking at them? They're sitting in a wardrobe that no one can access because I've got shelving in front of it, like removable shelving. But people aren't looking at these albums, so I thought I need to change that. So I moved them all out there, and now I go out there and every so often I find my daughter flicking through the albums. So it's had a desired effect. So I'm so much happier with that. Alright, so this is day 17. Carrie Simmons. A nice sketch. Great sketch. There's, you 4 bits of, looking at it closer, there's more than 4 bits of paper. You've got your backing sheet, then you've got another one. This could be a piece of paper or fake stitching or proper stitching. You've got one here, another piece down here, a scalloped edge here, a big tag here, something tucked under there, your photo and an embellishment cluster up here. And she's also got a bit of paint splatter or ink splatter on there as well. Does mine reflect this? No, not really. I did, because I had picked out 4 photos for this layout and she has 1. So I couldn't make it work, but I still want to use it. And I did use elements from it. So the scalloped edge down here is represented by, and this is probably a cheater's bit, but my paper already had scalloping in it. So, well, that works for me for the scalloped edge. And wait a minute, I just need a drink. Hang on. And this is really old Stampin' Up! Paper. And I don't know how old it is. I think I bought it secondhand from someone. And I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for nearly 10 years. And then I left and then I rejoined again and I'm about to leave again. But anyway, and this paper was before that time. So this paper is well over 10 years old. If you are someone who purchases Stampin' Up! Or you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you know how old this paper is, I'd love to know because it's really old. And I've had it quite a few years. I think I had it, yeah, probably, yeah, well, at least 10 years. I haven't had it that long. Maybe 8? I don't know, something like that. Anyway, I've had it a long time. So I finally got to use it. And the reason I picked it is because it's got cooking stuff on it. And my photos are of apple pie. So the things I have in common with the sketch is this embellishment cluster up here. I have done that here, but I've also incorporated the title into it. And then this embellishment cluster, you probably can't see this embellishment cluster here, I have down here. I have the tag up here, so I have used that. And this tuck piece here, I've actually used a doily, but I've also put the doily here and up here because it's cooking. And when I think of doilies, I think of them on the plate with a nice pie or biscuits or pastries or something. So I had to incorporate the doilies. That's all I want to say. Oh, these are really simple embellishments. This one again, I got stuck with because I went, I don't have much. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have much in the way of food baking type embellishments. I have one stamp set, which is the What's Cooking stamp set by Stampin' Up! And the matching dies, but I made that work. These were stickers that I found in my sticker book. Let's Eat, Home and Desserts. That's what we made, dessert. So I thought, well, if I add the doily and the paper has quite a lot in it as well, those few embellishments work for me. It's quite a simple page and it works for me. And the sketch is simple as well, so I don't have to make it super fancy. But this is an apple pie that my daughter decided to make. We were in lockdown. It was COVID. It was March 2020. And she decided to make this apple pie. Very clever. She did most of it herself. So there you go. That's that one. That was day 17. Alright, day 18. A sketch by Nikki Rowland. A really nice sketch. Love this one. And again, there's mixed media in it. And again, you'll see that I didn't use mixed media. But I used some of the same elements of the sketch in my layout. Alright, so I have the one photo. The sketch has two. I used one. I have used the 3 pieces of paper vertically down the page. I do have my title under the photo. And I do have words where the journaling is here. I do have words here. And I have some embellishment clusters. I've moved this one up here and this one sort of down here. So I did a diagonal design. Alright, so my photo is not actually of a person or a thing. It's a meme I created and put on my business page during lockdown. And it was 5 ways to avoid coronavirus. Stay home and craft, stay home and craft, stay home and craft, stay home and craft, stay home and craft. Perfect. That's what we think a lot of us did. That's all you could do. So I've used a mix of things here. This is old, again, Stampin' Up! Paper from about the same era as that cooking one. And it had like all home things like the iron and the ironing board, the lamp, the vacuum cleaner, the broom. So I thought, well, that's home related and that's what we did during lockdown. And then the rest of the embellishments, or most of them, are from Cocoa Vanilla These Days collection. And I know they don't exactly go with the paper, but I think it all works. Fingers crossed, it all works. It doesn't matter if it doesn't, I'm telling the story. So, this frame was from Simple Stories, I believe. And it had something else written up there. So I just used a sticker and stamped the 2020 on there. And it had like a bright pink thing on it here. So I stuck another sticker over that and some others to cover up what was on there. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. So this is really simple. My journaling is going to be that, you know, during COVID you couldn't go anywhere. Everyone was in lockdown. You had to stay home. So what did I do? I just craft. I spent my time crafting. So that's pretty simple. So that is day 18. Day 19 is a double page spread. Here is the sketch, and it's by Pam Nichols. And as soon as I saw this sketch, this is one of the ones that I had to change my papers and photos for, because when I saw the sketch, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. So I didn't do that with many. So at the start of the 30 days, I got a heap of papers together, like in page kits. Then I added any immediate embellishments that came to mind. And then I went through and just printed a heap of photos and added them into each page. I didn't even look if the photos matched the page kits. And then when the sketches were released, I printed out the sketches 1 to 31, and I just went through my page kits in my tub and went, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and went like that. And then I went back through them to look at the sketches, and there was a few that were really obvious that weren't going to work with the photos and the paper that I had picked out, or I knew exactly something else I wanted to do from what I had picked out, and this was one of them. So when I saw those hills, I went, I know the perfect paper. It's an old Kaiser craft paper, and I covered a lot of it up anyway in the end, but it's the one with the hills and the cows, the farm type one. So it's years old, like most of my stuff. So I did another double page here. Alright, so the inspiration from the sketch was the hills. Nothing much else really. I did the same as the sketch. That was my one and only inspiration, and that's as far as the sketch went for me. So a double page spread of the Ekka. In 2019 we went to the Ekka. So it's really photo heavy, and I didn't matte the photos because I wanted them to sort of blend into the background paper, because I wanted to give that type of country vibe. I didn't want them matted and standing out. I wanted them blending in. So lots of photos of the Ekka. Some of these elements are really old stickers. These, the cow, the duck, the ducklings, the pig and the horse were, they didn't have a name on them. They were just a little tiny sticker sheet. Probably Mrs. Gossamer's or whatever it was. I don't know, but they were really, really old. They've been in my stash forever and a day. And I think I bought them when I used to go to Scrapbook Cottage in Castle Hill. In their very first place they were, I think, which was above the hobby shop, I think. Was it Victoria Avenue? Somewhere like that. And that would have been, it was before we moved to that area. We were still living at Smithfield, so it was before we moved there. So it was before 2004. Would have been when my son was little. 2002 or something. 2003 is when I bought those stickers. So they probably were Mrs. Gossamer's. So they're clear stickers around. So I stuck them on white cardstock and cut them out. And the other elements I have, the tree, the barn, the tractor, the tree, the barn, the tractor, were from Knitwit Collections, from one of their digital collections. So I pasted them in Word, resized them, cut them out. So that's the same image. The tractor, those two are the same image. One I've just made bigger. Same with the barn, exactly the same image. I've just resized them and then printed them out. I love those digital elements. And then the windmills are from Die from Uniquely Creative. It's hard to say. So that's it for day 19. And like I said, the only inspiration I got, or the only bit I used of this sketch, was this element down the bottom, because it reminded me of the hills of this old Kaiser craft paper. So that's it. So that is the Ekka. And if ever you go to the Ekka in Brisbane, you have to have this ice cream. It is to die for. Oh my gosh, it is so nice. Okay, so that is that one. I think that was our first time ever to Ekka. We only moved up here in 2017. Alright, so this is the last one. This is day 20. Today. I'm actually up to date. Let's see if I stay that way. So this is a sketch by Sherry Rubini. I love this sketch. Really versatile. You are not limited to a theme or anything on this sketch. It can be anything. So your embellishments don't have to be flowers. You can use it for anything. There's a little bit of mixed media. You know I don't do mixed media. I've roughly followed this. So what I have is this band of paper across the middle that's cut into like a flag end. I've just got the one piece of paper all the way across. I have got the different stripes here, but I only have 3 either side. My photos, I've used 3 photos because that's how many I had printed for this page. Now the circles here are represented by my background paper, which is got spots on it. So I thought, well, that's a cheater's way of getting the spots in, isn't it? I have done the same diagonal design, and that's as much as I've copied from the sketch. So I think my embellishments are pretty much the same there and there, but I do have an extra in the middle because I have I had a gap in the middle, and plus I wanted something leading into my title, which is at the side and not at the bottom. So just slight little changes, but this one I followed, I guess you could say, pretty closely. And the title on this one is Cake Pops Jessica Style. And the reason for that is because sometimes my daughter has trouble finishing things, and she'll start and get bored and it never gets finished. And the cake pops were the prime example. So I remember these were all the rage. So this is 2013. Cake pops were all the rage, and she wanted to make them. So you went out and bought the special cake pop tin here, and you make your batter and you put it in one side, you put the lid on, make sure it closes properly, and bake them. And they came out great. That's as far as they went. We didn't decorate them. You were given the sticks so that you could put the sticks in them, coat them in icing, and decorate them. They didn't last. Well, they didn't last that long. Is wrong. We couldn't bother decorating them. So we still had the sticks when we moved in 2017 in the bottom drawer in the kitchen. We never ever got to put the sticks in and decorated them. They all just went into a container and got eaten as little balls. So I did say to her, did you want to decorate them? And she goes, no, I can't bother. We'll just eat them like that. And that is just priceless because that is so Jessica. So that is what my journaling is going to be. Alright, so that's it. That is my up-to-date layouts. I'll just quickly run through them again. So day 20, day 19, day 18, day 17, day 16, 15, and I'm going to show you at the end my pile of layouts that I've done that I haven't put away. Alright, day 14 was the double page Backyard Olympics. Double page, I really like this page. Very nice, if I say so myself. Oh, they're the digital files that I use. We have day 13. It's quite a heavy page, this one. It's the layers, day 13, and then day 12. Okay, now I'm going to show you my pile of layouts that I have. Okay, so these are all the layouts I've done in the last couple of weeks. That's quite a pile. So I don't know how many is there. It's big as that pile. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 layouts there. And I'll just quickly flick through these ones as well, just to give a why not layout share. So that was for, my gosh, my mind's gone blank. That's using a Tapestry of Time collection from Uniquely Creative for the Collection Obsession series, October. Zoom, zoom, beep, beep. That's a 30 Days of Sketches one. There's another 30 Days of Sketches. Another one. I'm loving that I'm getting a lot of scrapping done for this 30 Days of Sketches. That also is a 30 Days of Sketches. Now these ones, all the Christmas ones coming up, there's quite a few, were for the Bash Your Scrapbook Stash World Series Game 1. I did one layout for Game 2. I'm not sure which one it was. So that's 1, 2, 3. I've probably already done a layout share for these, but I thought I'd show them again anyway, in case you didn't see that video. That's my favourite of them. That one and this one. That one I love. I think it's the colours just really nice. And then the Elves one. Love this one as well. Alright, this was for Through the Rainbow, colour red. This was Bash Your Scrapbook Stash, I think. I don't really know what this is for now. No, maybe it's a 30 days of sketches. I don't know. This was a 30 days of sketches, I think. This is for the Bash Your Scrapbook Stash Series 1 because it had the mixed media on it. See, I don't do mixed media well. I don't know what this is for. I can't remember. How bad's that? Was that a... That might have been a Scrap Your... No. That was a 30 days of sketches, I think. So was this one. 30 days of sketches. So I'm getting some old vintage photos scrapped as well. And then that was 30 days of sketches. Was it? No, that was a Bash Your Scrapbook Stash, I think. I don't know now. No, that was a sketches. 30 days of sketches. I don't know. You know, I've forgotten. All I know is that I am getting lots of scrapping done. And you'll see a lot of them have no journaling. I'm yet to add the journaling. So when I'm in a hurry. But what I do now, so I don't forget where I'm putting my journaling, is I printed out all these little scraps of paper or strips of paper that say journaling goes here, journaling goes here. I just grab my removable adhesive and I actually stick it on where the journaling goes. So that way, when I come to do the page and I come to put it in the album, I can look at it and go, yes, okay, I haven't done the journaling. I need to do that. One's a bit long. The journaling is going to go down here. I'm going to do that now actually while we're here so you can see how quick and easy it is. I can't always do journaling when I'm creating. I sometimes have to think about what it is that I'm going to say. And whoops, that's a little down. Alright, so you'll see that, you know, a lot of my layouts don't have journaling. If you were to come look at my albums, a lot don't have journaling because I can't do it at the time. Some for this, like the Bash Your Scrapbook Stash challenges, you have to actually have journaling on them at the end. But, yeah, some challenges that say, you know, they don't specify, oh God, I can't talk tonight, too much cake and stuff, that doesn't specify the journaling, I will always do my journaling later. It's too long. And it also makes sense if you flick through the layouts and go, why do you have a tag there and a banner there and there's nothing in between? Because that is where my journaling is going. No, I think my journaling was going to go there, wasn't it? Remember now. This is good actually because I had forgotten where I was going to put my journaling on some of these. A lot of them is a really obvious spot. That's got journaling. That's got journaling because this is for a Bash Your Scrapbook Stash challenge. So they had to have journaling on them for your final photo or you don't get the points. That has journaling on it. This does not. I don't know where I'm going to put journaling on this one. Maybe down here. Oh no, there's a good spot. Oh no! Just chopped them all on the floor. Oi, oi, oi. I thought they were all still in the plastic bag. but no, they weren't. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's put journaling up here. Okay, that's already got it on. That one's already done. That one's already got the tag on it of where I'm going to put the journaling. So there you go. That is my layout share for the first 30 days of sketches up to this point, with a few others thrown in. So I have a lot of layouts here now that I need to do the journaling and get into albums. So if you've liked this video, thanks for hanging out with me. If you've liked it, give me the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that notify bell so you know when my next video comes out. Thanks for watching and have a scrap happy day. Bye bye.